What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. On today's video we'll be doing a much needed rear traction upgrade. We're going to be installing MCA traction mod. This lowers the pickup of where your LCA connects to, and then apparently it just completely changes the way the car drives. So apparently if you're putting a little bit more power through the car, like supercharger or turbo, it's much needed. If you've watched any of my videos, you would have heard me complaining non-stop about how hard this thing is to control. So I spoke to Marcus McCarthy, who is the absolute man. He's down at Traction Tyre Centre, and he's the drift wheel alignment king at the moment. And he said, don't bother doing anything if you haven't done the MCA traction control. So I went and bought them. Then while we were doing that, got these hard race suspension rear lower control arms, because they're adjustable, why not? The color is sick. It's actually like not too far off being what the car is. So that's pretty cute. I'm not sure how detailed to make the video, but we'll start getting into it and see how we go. He's also come with a really detailed little brochure. It's got sweet pictures, and like it actually has a good amount of information. It's an easy install. I mean, the hardest part will be the lower control arms and getting them adjusted and where they need to go, but with the lower control arms I'm just going to set them to try and set them out exactly to what the stock ones are, and then when whoever does the wheel alignment, they can fiddle with that after that. Alright, so I'm just going to start off by, I'm going to undo the shock, coilover, undo the bolt from the knuckle, and then I'll do the one up onto the bolting onto the chassis last. When I'm doing stuff like this, when I'm taking bolts out and stuff, and I actually like to write on the bolt where I pulled it out of, just so I know where to put it back in. I mean, you're chucking the bolts in the ground and you never know. I know it might not matter, but it's always just something I've always done. There you have it, a stock LCA. I already have my sway bar off, but if you run a sway bar, you'll need to take that off as well. Alright, we're back. I have removed the rear lower control arm. I thought it was a rear lower control arm. So I'm standing here reading the instructions, looking at all the pictures. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. I thought that this bolted up here, but I was completely wrong. It's this lower control arm that it goes off. So I just need to remove this plastic guard, and then we're gonna pull this out, pull these bolts out and everything, and then the lower control arm, the traction mod, is gonna go like that somewhere. Goes up like that, and then it lowers the point where this lower control arm picks up. So I'll scratch my head for a little bit there, but we're back in action. Following the instructions, what do we got? It says to remove the handbrake guide, this little piece of metal here. Then it says in the instructions to loosen these bolts 5mm, but not take them out. And then it says to take this out all the way. This is what the traction mod is going to be connecting to, and then it's also going to be connecting to this. So we'll get this off, we'll loosen these, we'll pull that out, and then we'll do this last. And then we'll see how we go. So it says to slide the bracket onto the lower control arm. Don't bolt it in though, just leave it hanging. It's pretty tight, so it'll definitely stay there. Then throw a bolt through the top of the bracket of the lower control arm. This is actually slotted, so pay attention to that. So because this side of the bracket is going to go on the inside, and then that's going to go on the inside, and that's going to go on the outside. And then we'll do this bolt up last. Alright, that was giving me heaps of dramas trying to get it on there. It was really tight. I mean, if you really wanted to fight it for ages, you could probably get it on there. But I just wanted to open it up a bit, so I just got a shifter, put it on, tightened it up, and then just cranked on it a little bit. Hopefully that's just enough to get us where we need to go. It said to do the top one, then do this bottom one, and then do that last, but I could not get that in. So then I just put that through just loosely, and then I got these holes pretty close, and then I just stuck the flathead screwdriver up there, moved it across, then I was able to get the bolt in. So now we'll get it all tightened up, and then we'll be good to go. Alright, so we're all done with the traction mod on the left hand side. MCA, so as you can see up the top, this is where it used to be, and this is where it is now. So it's supposed to make your car like really planted. The handbrake line protector bracket doesn't fit on once you've put this on, but this is like super tight, so that's not an issue. Alright, now we can start working on the lower control arm. Alright, time to move on to the rear lower control arms, the hard race ones that I got. Like I said, I'm just going to try and make sure that it's the same length as the stock one. So I've just put a screwdriver through both the bolt holes to try and get them so they're even. It's not going to be super accurate. So as you can see, it's a little bit shorter, so we're going to wind it out and see how she goes. Let's go! Alright, so as you can see, I've lined it up here at the back. There's two ways of winding out this adjustable lower control arm. You can wind it out from here, which is like a big threaded like socket in there, and then you can also, I guess this is like some sort of tie rod or something, but you can adjust it out of there as well. So I just did a little bit out of here and a little bit out of there. And as you can see, I threw a screwdriver through here just to line them up. Obviously it's not going to be perfect, but it'll be fine to chuck on the car, and then once it goes to the wheel alignment they can fix it. I should mention as well, I'm going to keep this stuff like relatively loose for now. I'll just do it up like not even hand tight, and then I'll chuck it on the car and then see how it goes, and if it's all looking good then we can tighten it up on the car. Alright, rear lower control arm is all in. It's actually super easy. I thought the knuckle might fight me a little bit more going in, but easy. Looks sick. Now we're just going to go to the other side and get it done, but you don't need to watch that because you've already seen this side. So thanks for watching. We'll cut to the track and I'll give you a little bit of a review on what I think of the traction mod and see if there's any different in the two things being installed.
Yeah.